That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Furry. What does that word mean, really? When I walked into the first Wild Prairie Fur Con in August of 2018 here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, I honestly had no idea. I figured that I'd pick up my badge, hang around for 10 minutes feeling invisible and awkward because I didn't know anybody, then my social anxiety would kick in and I'd head back home again. After all, it wasn't my fandom. I was a science fiction and fantasy fan, a 35-year veteran of KeyCon, who was only attending the first Wild Prairie Fur Con to provide a brand new convention with financial support. Instead, I found myself being not only seen, but welcomed by an amazing group of folks whose warmth, playfulness, and strong sense of community totally won me over. So, what is furry? The first word I learned to associate with them was fun. And another word came soon after, friendliness. I'm Lori E. Smith, and I invite you to come with me on my personal journey into the world of furry through Wild Prairie Fur Con, and to meet some of the amazing people who make this event so special. What is furry? Let's find out. Furry is fun. These folks are playful, quick-witted, and witty, and skilled at drawing, pantomime, and dance. They love to play games, interact in improvisation, and be generally silly. But underneath all the fun and games is a serious sense of the importance of what they're doing, that play and wittiness and drawing and dance are ways of expressing and developing the deeper self. Furry is friendly. Oh my God, so friendly. When a stranger walks into your convention space intending to stay for 10 minutes, then walks out many hours later having made several new friends, you know your community is a warm and welcoming one. Furry is artistic. The furry fandom started with a bunch of artists expressing their love for animal characters. They drew, they wrote stories, they produced apozines, and eventually they started drawing themselves as anthropomorphized animals who expressed their inner selves. To this day, furry fandom is heavily art-driven, not only in terms of visual arts and the making of fursuits, but also in physical forms of self-expression like pantomime and dance. Furry is accepting of LGBTQIA+ individuals. Look in the dealer's den at almost any furry event, and you will find rainbows and other identity symbols everywhere. As a gender-fluid individual myself, I've seldom walked into an environment where I felt more instantly at home in that regard. Furry is all about respect and informed consent, blended with personal freedom. To quote the popular version of the Wiccan Rede, "If you harm none, do what you will." Ask before giving someone a hug. Be polite. Be considerate. Observe the personal boundaries of others. The furry community is among the least judgmental groups I've ever been a part of, but they are fierce when it comes to protecting the vulnerable within their ranks. You are free to express yourself so long as nobody else is adversely affected by your actions. Consent is never assumed, it must be requested and freely given. And at Wild Prairie Fur Con, children 15 years of age or under must always be accompanied by an adult parent or guardian. Furry is not just about the fursuits. You can be a furry in a full suit, in a set of paws, or a tail, or a pair of ears, or just in your regular civilian clothes. Furry is, to me, a mindset, a way of looking at yourself in the world. It fosters a sense of connection with others in the fandom. It encourages compassion and care for the animals who share the planet with us, and it raises significant amounts of money for animal charities each year. There is also a spiritual dimension to furriness for some people, in which their connection with their fursona holds an element of divine power, or of a more clear and direct association with their own deepest being. But when it does come to the fursuits, furry is about empowerment. At that very first Wild Prairie Fur Con I attended, several individuals I spoke with expressed how being furry allows them to come out of their shells, to step past depression and social anxiety or constrictive gender roles, and to feel more fully their true and authentic selves. This is the deeper and more serious side of furry fandom, the exploration and development of one's authentic self. Some folks who aren't able to come out as LGBTQIA+ in their real life find the freedom to be who they really are in furry spaces. Others find that wearing a tail or paws or a full fursuit gives them the almost magical ability to express themselves without fear or crippling self-judgment. Sometimes the stories we tell about our fursonas are aspirational and encourage us to be better and brighter people. Sometimes they're simply all in good fun. And both approaches are perfectly acceptable within the furry community. And last, but perhaps most importantly, furry is about community. A place that for so many people feels like coming home. When I walk into Wild Prairie Fur Con each year, I feel immediately infused with happiness and a sense of belonging. I don't have a full fursuit. All I may do is wear a pair of ears or a couple of art badges with my name on them. But I'm part of this amazing group all the same. And as my exploration of what it means to be furry continues in the years to come, I feel confident that this community will be there to advise and encourage me and to welcome new folks into the fascinating world that is furry fandom. So in the end, what does furry mean to those in the Wild Prairie Fur Con community?
Hi guys, Diana here, and being a furry for me is being able to dress up in this and be able to have fun while sweating my butt off.
The best part of the furry fandom is that you get the chance to make others smile, and within the amazing community you get to make new friends, and also the creativity that comes with it. Like your fursona, it's your creation, it's your idea. To me, this is what the furry fandom is.
Hi there, I'm Shinona Icepaw. I am the con chair for Wild Prairie Fur Con, and I like to say that furry is different for everyone. For me personally, it is about community and creativity. One of my favorite quotes is that furries are some of the most creative people because we refuse to let the gray blinders of adult life diminish our joy. As such, Wild Prairie Fur Con likes to have a nice spread of everything. We can have 5-year-olds, we can have 95-year-olds. We can have people that are just coming for their first time and don't know the first thing about furry, or have been at being furry for decades at this point. What makes furry as special as it is that it isn't one set thing, that it is a whole, simply because it is so diverse.
Furry fandom has a lot in common with science fiction and anime fandom. There's this active, welcoming community of nerds, geeks, creative people, and just regular fans. And once you get into the group, it may take a while to find your niche, to find the people who like the same things that you do or similar things, but they're out there. To me, I like furry fandom for a couple of reasons. There's the social element. There's the joy of discovering artwork, animation. People will say, hey, you should take a look at this person's work. A lot of furry fans will create these characters that they use to express themselves, and then when they go online, they have these energetic and silly conversations using those characters, and I really enjoy being able to follow those interactions. Being able to hang out in a creative community like furry fandom and to brighten some random person's day, that's just one of the things that makes furry fandom personally meaningful to me.
You don't need a fursuit to be a furry at all. I always stress that. The only requirement is a good attitude towards it. To an outsider, they see the images of art, music, dance, the costumes of anthropomorphic characters. But why? I say, why not? Be unique, be yourself in ways you always wanted to be. It's an escape from life itself. For a moment, if you could dream and become anything free of the world's pressures and problems and truly do what your heart tells you to do, would you take the step or leap to this? If you become something else, your inner spirit animal, your guide, and unite together, would you? Would you? That's what furry is all about. Being happy, creative, beautiful, as life should be. We at Wild Prairie FurCon are a family, and we unite together as always. Not just for ourselves, but for each other and for those who may join later. We capture the spirit, special moment, and let's continue the spirit of Wild Prairie FurCon and share it throughout the rest of our lives for the rest of the year. Let's be who we always wanted to be and to show the world how proud we are too. Hugs. Munchkin.
Ultimately, furry is what you make it. And for these folks, furry is fun, community, self-exploration, and yes, definitely love. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you in person at the next Wild Prairie FurCon, where this friendly fanish community is waiting to greet you and to welcome you into their unique and wonderful world.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.